Alright, so today we're gonna get our focus away from football, and today we're gonna talk about the MLB once again. This season just wrapped up like literally on Saturday. What the fuck? Blue Jays lost the World Series. Dodgers won it. Congratulations, Dodgers. Guys had a good season. Ruined baseball. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly though, it was a good season from like a couple of teams, so it's kind of good to have a grading system. So we're gonna grade every single MLB team's um season. That also includes postseasons. So the postseason teams are gonna get a boost grade. So yeah, let's hop into this video. We're gonna start with the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks had high expectations, finished with an 80-82 record. Problem is they did underperform a lot. They were supposed to have at least around like 80 wins, maybe make a playoffs. I'll give them a low C, honestly, C minus. This team, it was the Diamondbacks was dominated by injuries too throughout the season, so it wasn't fair for them. So I have to give them a C. The Athletics, they have a lot going on for them this year. They just got a new location. They finished with a 76-86 record. And they were projected around 70-ish wins. So, going off of that standard, I'm gonna give the Athletics a C. I think a C would be a good grade for them. Honestly, overall, the Athletics had just had an athletic season. They just, up and down. But either way, they did have a up and down season. Now we got the Atlanta Braves, and this team was supposed to win around 94 games. They only won. They only won like 70 games, right? Well, they got 76 wins. What a complete disappointment. D. This was a complete disappointing team. Should be F. Actually, you know what? F. Like this team was supposed to win 94 games, winning the division, being one of the best teams in baseball, but instead completely flops and disappoints just like that. So I'm gonna give the Braves a C. The Orioles with 87 wins was supposed to win 87 games, just like the Braves. They disappointed like a lot. They only won 75 games. I'll give them a D though. Actually, no, I'll give them an F. Another failed season. It wasn't a good season from the Orioles, anyways. So I have to give them an F. The Red Sox things. They made it to the playoffs. They didn't have an 81-81 record. They did make it to the playoffs. They had a way better season than last year. To their credit, I'll give them a B. I don't think they'll deserve anything higher than a B. I think I'm being a little too nice to them. I think they should. I can't put them in D. So yeah, me C. So I'll just put them in B. Diamondbacks, I'm actually going to move down to D because I had them winning like around 87-ish wins. And they kind of still did. Yeah, I'll have them over the Athletics. Alright, now we got the Cubs. And the Cubs were supposed to win 88 games. And the Cubs did win 90 games and made it to the second round. I'll give them a B. It was pretty good. It was a good season from the Cubs. So, but I think I might move the Cubs up. But for now, I'm going to have them at B. Let's see how much the B tier category is going to move up. Now we got the White Sox. The White Sox, yeah, they had a better season than last year. I had them winning like around like in the 50 games. The White Sox won 60 games. So I'm going to give them a D. So they did perform a little bit better than suspected. Now we got the Cincinnati Reds, and they hold like the definition of C. I might move them a B, but I'm gonna have them high C because they made the playoffs. They made the playoffs. They were not supposed to make it, but they had that same 80 record I had them. So honestly, give them the C. They made the expectations, but they did kind of overachieve making it to the playoffs. We got the Rockies F. They were supposed to win like 60 games, and this was the worst team in all of football. Should have been worse than the 2024 White Sox. This team was terrible. Now we got the Tigers, and the Tigers did perform way better than the last year. Um, yeah, I had them projected one like 85 wins. This year they got 87. Did they win the division? Okay, did they win the division? But they did make it to the second round. I'll give them an B for that. I'll give them a B. They deserved it. They had a pretty good season. Now we got the Guardians, and honestly, that comeback from the Guardians was amazing. They were supposed. I had them going F, but I'll give them a B because they won the division. They just lost in the first round. I think I honestly should move the Tigers and Cubs up to A, but you know what? I'm just gonna leave them at B. Um, yeah, honestly, the Guardians did have a good season though. With the Astros, they were supposed to make the playoffs. What happened? They missed it. They didn't have a good record though, but I'll give them. I want to give them a C, honestly. Maybe a D. I want to give them a D. They missed the playoffs. They missed the fucking playoffs. How you missed the playoffs, Astros? I'll give them like a low C. Actually, no. You know what? I gotta fill that D category. I'll give them a D. It was disappointing for the Astros, and they actually won like in that 85 range. I have them, but they missed the playoffs. Actually, they did kind of. I give them a low C for that. Now I'm thinking about it. They were supposed to. They were supposed to win, but yeah, the Kansas City. I had them winning 80 games, and they won actually 80 games. So C, they had expectations, so I'll move them to C. The Los Angeles Angels, they went 70. I had them winning around 70-ish games, 73, 74 games, and they actually went 72 games. So yeah, they performed in my expectations. So I'll give them a C. The Dodgers. Now I'm not going to give them an A plus because I think they should have did better in the regular season. I'll give them an A though. They still won the World Series back to back. Honestly, this team's a super team. We all knew they were gonna go have a super season. They didn't have like the greatest regular season. They have a 90. They only won like 93 games, which is not the best, but it's better than suspected. So I'll give them credit for that. So I'll give them an A. I'll give Los Angeles an A. They had a good year, but they won back to back. So that's going to boost their grade. So I'll move them to an A. The Marlins, I'll give them a B. Hot take. This Marlins team was supposed to win less than 60 games. I had them winning less than 60 games. And then yet somehow, some way, this team almost made it to the playoffs. Like, you gotta give the Marlins some credit here. I'll give them a B. I know maybe it's a little biased from a Marlins fan, but I mean, we had a good season. I'm happy how we left off. Hopefully we build off of that. We usually struggle to do that. I don't know why. The Milwaukee Brewers, I'll give them an A. They had the best season in baseball, but they did lose in the second round. I only have them winning 83 games, barely making playoffs, actually missing it. And the fact that they were the best team in baseball and just overall, yeah, I'm gonna say overall good season for the Brewers. I'm gonna move them to A. We got the Minnesota Twins, and this team was one of the worst teams in baseball. F. I have them being good. I don't know why. Straight F. This was a disappointing season from the Twins. The Mets, they were supposed to be so good. They missed the playoffs. D. They missed the playoffs and they let the Reds in. How the fuck does that make sense? I don't know. But honestly, the Mets, how the fuck do you guys miss the playoffs? I don't know, with like Juan Soto and shit like that. Yeah. The Mets, I'll give them a D. Now we got the Yankees. The Yankees, they did exceed my expectations. They lost in the second round. I'll give them a B, I guess. They made the playoffs, so I'll give them credit for that. Now I should move the Reds up. I'll give them a high C for that. Either way, meet my expectations. So, yeah, the Phillies, they also met my expectations. Though the Phillies, they're gonna lose. They're like regular season team, so I'll give them a B. They did anything insane. So yeah, I'm just gonna move them to B. Overall, this team just, it's not bad, but I mean, I don't know how the fuck you guys lose in the second round to the Dodgers, but the Dodgers, they went back to back, so it doesn't look that bad now. Now we got the Pirates, and they exceeded my expectations. They were a 76 win game, like 76 win team. Honestly, they are like the definition of my expectations. So I'll give them a C for that. Now we got the we got the fucking Padres. The Padres, out of them being good, making it the playoffs, they exceeded my expectations, made it to the playoffs. So yeah, I'll give them credit for that. I'll give them a B. The Giants, they went 80 and 82, and I actually had them around that range, so they meet my expectations, and I'll give them a C. The Seattle Mariners, I had them winning around 85 games. They made it to the third round, like the finals, like almost made it to the finals too. So honestly, I could give them an A plus, but I think I'm just gonna save it for one team. You'll probably know what it is, but I am gonna give the Mariners an A. The Mariners had a shocking season. They had a good season. They won 90 games, made it to the third round, almost beat the Blue Jays. Could have made it to the World Series. Imagine, because maybe we would have seen a different result. Probably not, because the Blue Jays were so good. I'm just spoiling for the end of the video, but either way, though, the Mariners, they had a good season, so I'll give them an A. The Cardinals, they did the Cardinals things. I had them going 76 wins, and they won, like, 78, so I'll see. They meet my expectations. Now we got the Tampa Bay Rays. I had them winning around 80 games. They won 76, so, I mean, should I give them a D? I think we're gonna fix some things. I think I'll give them a low C. I think we're edging a D, but honestly, the Rays, they had a fine season. They were up and down, but with more downs. Now we got the Rangers, and I thought this team was gonna be good, but I guess not. Yeah, the Texas Rangers, they were supposed to only win, like, I had them like going to the playoffs. They didn't. They went 81. They were mid-team. This team is, I don't know what happened, but they completely fallen apart. So I have them with a D. So yeah. Now we got I'm gonna wait for the Blue Jays. I'm gonna go with the Nationals. They were bad. They're like one of the worst teams in baseball. I'll give them a D. Overall, this team was just terrible, and yeah, that doesn't deserve a high grade. I'll give them a D. In the Blue Jays, are your only A plus team? This team was supposed to only win 70 games. I had them winning 70 games, and yet they made it to the World Series and almost win it all. I know I'm probably ultimate glaze, but like honestly, I had this team winning only 76 games, and it went in like nuclear in May, June, July, August, September, October. They had one of the best. They were like the best playoff team. The Dodgers are just way better, and that's why I have the Blue Jays at A plus. Now I should have the Dodgers in A plus too, but we all knew they were going to win the World Series anyways. But the Blue Jays, they succeeded expectations. They did. Honestly, I think, yeah, I have to move the Astros down to D, bro. How the fuck do you miss the playoffs as a dynasty? I think other than that, I'm happy. I'm happy with my grading system. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe, and I gotta get this video done so I can enjoy Monday Night Football. Alright, goodbye, guys.